Welcome, everybody, to the episode, the review of AEW Full Gear. Cracking up a cold one to start open the show. I am joined,
Nice.
Thank you, by my guest today, Mikey Manfredi. Mikey, how are you doing, buddy? It sounds like you had a rough day.
So, if you crack a cold one in one yard, and you put milkshakes in the other, which one will the boys go to?
I think it depends who's cracking the cold ones, because if it's Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know I'm there. If it's, Rikishi of the milkshakes, I'm also there. Mikey, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very good. I'm very excited for this review. Full Gear was kind of buck wild. And I'm ready to talk about it.
Yeah, we're doing this. This is a part of the System Check family of products. Let's get real branded oriented over here. This is part of the System Check family here. Right off the bat, I should say apologies to all the listeners at home. Mikey, I planned on getting an episode out on Friday/Saturday morning for Full Gear, right? Mm-hmm. And my computer is a butthole.
Oh, that's not nice.
I'll say this, depending on how you're listening to this, audience, you can figure out how butthole-ish my computer is. But that's sort of we'll find out in post sort of thing. Yeah, so my computer is really slow and really bad, and it doesn't write files
sure
really well.
Yet.
No, we don't know if this will be a good episode recording-wise or not. So I was planning on doing that. I had the episode recorded. I start editing. 5 minutes in, it starts dropping my audio. Great. And it does that every 30 seconds for the rest of the recording.
Yikes.
Yeah. So I'm like, dang it. I have to re-record it. So I start re-recording it. I listen to it. Same thing happens. At that point, I had to leave. I had some familial things I had to do. So at that point, I couldn't get an episode out. I tweeted out. Familial stuff has ended. My dad was in this weekend. He's my dad coming in from Maryland, coming over to Georgia this weekend. He left today, which is Monday, and then I watched Full Gear, and now I'm recording this. And because it's going to come out tomorrow, this is going to be part of System Check, folks. That's why you're listening to it now. We're going to do a review of Full Gear right now. AEW's Full Gear that kicked off in our, I was going to say hometown, but really just my hometown of Baltimore, Maryland. Mikey, I thought the show was pretty good. I thought it was a solid top-down pay-per-view. You'll see in my ratings how I felt about it even more, I guess. But I felt overall the show was very solid, with, of course, some controversial moments, which we'll talk about. But, Mikey, what are your grand overview thoughts of AEW's Full Gear?
Oh, I thought it was a great show. I had a great time watching it. I watched part of it in my car on the way to Taco Bell. It was pretty lit.
So it was a good time overall, I guess, in that sense, because if Taco Bell Full Gear, they go hand in hand, really.
Okay, so I was watching Full Gear, and it was just after the opening match, and I was like, dang, I'm kind of hungry. What match is next? Can I afford missing it for now? And then I'll watch it again later. And it was like, Hangman versus Pac. Well, can't miss this. So I
can't miss this 11-month rivalry.
So I was like, well, I can't miss this, but also I was like, dang, I'm still pretty hungry. And I had ordered Taco Bell on the app, and it was like, as soon as the match was about to start, I was like, Pac was making his entrance, and I got a text. It's like, your order is ready, and I was like, well, shit. So I put BR Live on my phone. And then ran out the door, and I watched it on my phone in the drive-thru of Taco Bell for a little while, and then I got back home on time before the match ended.
I love it. I love that story so much. Well, let's get into it. Let's go match by match down the card and talk about give our meatball ratings or star ratings to each individual match, Mikey, and give our thoughts about what happened, how the match was, and where things may be going. So we'll start off with the buy-in, of course, that sort of preview show, which only had one match on it, and that match was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defeating Bea Priestley, none other with the lockjaw. Mikey, thoughts on this match?
Well, I thought it was Britt's best match yet, and I very much enjoyed it. I thought it went really well. I thought it was clean. Sure, it was a little slow paced. It was a little slower than I thought it was going to be, but all in all, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I think I would agree that it might have been Britt's best match, and it's tough to say because she hasn't had a lot of one-on-one matches in AEW. I mean, looking at her record, she is. Oh, I guess actually she's 3-1, but one of those is a fatal 4-way. So it's sort of room for improvement. But I think this is definitely better than her Riho match. That being said, I think Britt Baker still needs improvement in terms of the ring quality. I think Bea Priestley sort of was for me the shining star of this match. I think she came off really well. Britt also really came off really well, and she came off much better than she usually does. There's usually some mistakes in there, but she definitely did better in this match, better prepared for this match.
I'm definitely surprised Britt won.
How do you mean?
I definitely thought they were gonna go with a Bea Priestley win. I didn't think this was gonna be the end of the rivalry.
I'm sort of the reverse on that. I was totally okay, like logically, for Britt to win, and it's not because I thought of it beforehand, but afterwards I was like, well, thinking about it, this match rivalry was probably not supposed to happen if you think about it, right? The rumors are that AEW has like a year's worth of storylines written. So like this match really came about because of a concussion that happened in a one match.
Yeah.
And so then maybe that's why it's on the buy-in, right? So
yeah, that's fair.
I was just sort of like sitting there thinking, I was like, maybe that's why this match wasn't that important according to AEW. Like it's only on the buy-in, it was just because it came about as the result of other matches.
I mean, to be fair, we did get the golden line from Bea Priestley.
Could you give me a little rendition of that?
You're a fucking dentist.
Oh my god. Just beautiful all around.
Very good.
Well, with this win, Britt Baker becomes 3-1 in singles competition, while Bea Priestley earns her first loss in singles competition, Bea Priestley never having a singles match to begin with. If we're looking at the ranking, the OCELOT ranking system here, Mikey, Britt Baker, number 2 out of 19 women, while Bea Priestley drops to 17 out of 19.
Yikes.
Yeah, Bea Priestley doesn't have a lot of wins. Like, if you think about it, Bea Priestley is not, like, really a sizable threat in AEW. She lost this match, which is her only singles match. She won one tag match and lost the other two, and hasn't had a trios match yet. She's 1-3 overall. Yikes. So, Bea Priestley not doing much. She's not really much of a threat here, but Britt Baker got the win here, which is good. I thought I thought the match was good. I thought it was, it wasn't my favorite of the night, but I definitely thought it was good. I thought it was solid. Like you said, I think it was the best Britt match. I think Bea maybe led her to that a little bit more. I think Britt still needs some more work in the ring. She definitely has a good promo, but it's just like, come on, Britt, you got it. Just keep doing your thing. You gotta learn. You have Adam Cole there to help you, so just utilize that championship material and get you to the dance.
Yeah.
But I think she's improving. It's just I'm worried she's not like champion material yet, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I gave this match a 3 out of 5 meatballs, Mikey. 3 out of 5 meatballs. What did you give it?
Yeah, 3 out of 5. It sounds pretty good. It was entertaining, but it didn't pop.
Yeah, it didn't stand out. It wasn't like a standout match. It was just sort of like, yep, they had a match, good stuff. Yeah. Nothing horrendously terrible, nothing horrendously amazing. Horrendously amazing?
Nothing terrifically amazing.
Perfect. Nailed it. But yeah, solid match. Let's move on down the card. Opening up Full Gear, Mikey, we had Proud and Powerful, the team of Santana and Ortiz, the two Inner Circle members, defeating the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, in tag team action. What did you think of this match, Mikey?
It almost feels like the entirety of the Elite is going through a redemption arc.
Can you expound on that? I'm thinking about it as a.
It's like they're anime protagonists. Think about it. And they were really, really good at what they do. And then they get cocky. And they start losing. Kind of lose themselves a little bit. And I feel like we're going to get comeback stories for both of them. We're going to get that redemption arc, Like, this is the beginning of the redemption arc where they start losing who they are. Mm-hmm. And then something's going to click. And they're going to be dead serious again, and it's going to be awesome.
I mean, if thinking about it, Adam Page was the only Elite member with a victory.
Yeah.
Everyone else failed to win their matches. And even more thinking about it, Cody made reference to a little IP that he owns that his dad created called War Games.
Oh, Boise.
Made reference to the match Beyond. So we could, if you're talking about that redemption arc, you're talking about maybe the climax happening in a War Games style match.
Elite versus Inner Circle War Games? Whoa.
Yeah. There's potential. But let's not get it too far ahead. We're talking Proud and Powerful versus Young Bucks. I thought this was a good match. I thought it was a solid opener. I'll be honest, I did expect more from this match going into it. I thought it'd be more blowaway for me. I think, obviously on paper, this match should be like one of the best matches in history. Mm-hmm. But like, it wasn't, it was just like, okay, cool. I think it was, what it did bring obviously was solid ring psychology with the whole shin, bad bum leg that Nick Jackson got. They were definitely it sort of had that Lucha Bros Young Bucks thing where like the Young Bucks do a good way of saying like, oh, we're the same footing because we'll do the same things. So like Lucha Bros and the Young Bucks do like the same moves and stuff. LAX, or not LAX, Proud and Powerful, and Young Bucks do the same sort of things, throwing people over the barricade, attacking body part, being on top of things. I don't know. I thought it was a good match. I gave it 3.5 stars, Mikey. What was your review of this match?
Yeah, 3.5 stars sounds right to me. It was good. It was a Young Bucks match. There was some high flying spots. There was some crazy spots. There was just a lot of things going on in general, which is what I've come to expect in an AEW Young Bucks match. And there was one point where Ortiz almost dove out of his pants, and that was really funny.
I love Ortiz. I think Ortiz brings a real energy to these matches that is just fun to go off of.
His super kick sell. We cannot skip this match without talking about that. His super kick sell was so funny.
He's just great. He's just the life of the party, honestly.
I agree.
I'm there for Ortiz. Yes, so this win, looking at the records, this win brings Young Bucks to 3-3 in tag team action, while Proud and Powerful are 2-0, which is very impressive. Of course, one of those being a win over the Beaver Boys, so in like a job match. So I guess not into the weight of it's not as impressive, but either way, this means Proud and Powerful are number 2 ranked overall, while Young Bucks are number 3 ranked overall.
Cool.
And if anyone disagrees with that, stop listening to AEW's official rankings. They're nonsense and don't make any sense.
Yikes.
That's my hot take. That's all I was going to talk about earlier in the episode that doesn't exist.
Yikes, bro.
Yeah, the only one that's official, Mikey, is the men's ranking because I 100% got that correct.
Nice.
With OCELOT rankings. Everything else, Emi Sakura is number 1. I don't care if she pinned the champion. She shouldn't be a win. She shouldn't be number 1. There's people in that list that have better wins, like more wins than her.
Yeah, that was weird to me.
But yeah, we'll get to that match later, I guess. But yeah, 3.5 stars. Good match. A solid opener, right? You know?
Yeah, definitely got me pumped for the rest of the pay-per-view.
I think AEW's had better openers. You know, I look back to Double or Nothing with SCU versus Strong Hearts. Mm-hmm. I was just like, you know, that was a solid opener, you know. But for me, this show, if I really paint the picture moving forward, Mikey, to me, this show was like started out solid, ramped up, dipped a little bit, then ramped back up.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And the baseline being good. Really,
yeah, definitely. The baseline was like, perfectly decent. You know what was cool? Being able to go to sleep after watching Full Gear and not being pissed off.
Well, I guess if you looked at the main event, the unsanctioned match in the right light, some people agree with you.
It's just like, damn, you know?
No, yeah. Compare this to Hell in a Cell, where like everyone was angry,
or any WWE pay-per-view in general that constantly disappoints. It's just like there's always gonna be something. Like it's really great not going to bed having like being angry that Brock Lesnar showed up or something, you know.
Like I was to continue what we were talking about. I was talking to my dad about All Elite Wrestling recently, and he was like, "What's the difference between All Elite Wrestling and WWE?" And my adjective I used for it was like, All Elite Wrestling is satisfying.
Yeah.
You know, it's not, maybe, you know, not every match is the greatest. You know, there's still a lot of, you know, people. I think the women's division still needs a lot of fine tuning and some work. But you know, tag teams maybe take up way too much of the slot. Personally, you know, it's not like perfect. It's not awful. It's satisfying. Like I watch the show for 2 hours on Wednesdays, and I feel great coming out of it. I don't feel like I wasted my time. I watched the pay-per-view, and I'm like, this was great. This was solid. I'm not upset about this. Everything makes sense to me personally.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about all Elite Wrestling.
That's the best feeling, because it's like, all right, we did we did spend $50 on this, so it's good. It's good that like we came out and we were like, all right, pretty good, you know. Like,
yeah, I think money well spent. $50.
I agree.
I think
worth it for sure.
Yeah, let's keep moving on down the card. Of course. Adam Page versus Pac in this match. Like we said, Adam Page, the only member of the Elite who got a victory.
Yes, my Taco Bell match.
Yeah, this match, of course, sponsored by Taco Bell. If you're hungry late at night, try the Doritos Locos Tacos. Or new to the table, new to the crunch, as it were.
The fourth meal fatal 4-way.
The fourth meal fatal 4-way, sponsored by Taco Bell. The fourth meal way. When you want that extra crunch, why don't you bite into a Nacho Grande box?
The fatal fourth meal. Wait.
The fatal fourth meal, where if you eat this, you'll die. You'll go to the bathroom and never be seen again.
Anyways,
Adam Page defeated Pac in this match. Pac's first singles loss in AEW. Not only that, but Adam Page able to get out of the brutalizer, the only person that has been able to.
Yeah.
He had a similar spot to how Pac put away Kenny Omega. Adam Page being able to get that rope break, pull out the victory with a couple lariats and clotheslines, and end up in the dead eye to pick up the victory and defeat Pac and give him his first singles loss since Dragon Gate, where he lost the title. So big things coming out of this match. Mikey, thoughts on this?
This match was awesome. I had a really good time watching it. It was really entertaining. There was a lot of good spots. This was quite a wrestling match, let me tell you.
Yeah, this was like top down, just like solid professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And good story.
That's what made it so enjoyable. It was like all the it was like everything you want out of a professional wrestling match. Like there was like some guys getting body slammed. There was a lot of storytelling. There was a lot of high flying moves. It's like everything.
There were
it's like
callbacks to previous matches.
Exactly. It hit all the notes of what you want out of a wrestling match.
Yeah, I would say so. Would you say this was a satisfying end to this rivalry?
I think so. I like Paige finally getting his due diligence, I guess.
And now, are you upset that we're going to get a fourth match on AEW Dynamite on Wednesday?
I'm not, because I know these two could put on a good show. And then I'm assuming it's going to get interrupted by something, you know?
That's fair. If you were to make a guess on who will be interrupted by, what would be your guess?
Part of me, probably the Inner Circle, but that seems obvious. Just because of the way they're trying to take down the Elite, you know?
I have a guess, but we'll get to that. We'll get that guess later.
I was gonna say, but also MJF.
Ooh, you think MJF? Interesting.
I think MJF could possibly be an interference in this match, going after all of Cody's friends.
I have my. Ooh, that's a good storyline. I like that. But I have a guess. I'm gonna hold off until later.
Okay.
And I'll reveal that later. But talking about this match, of course, Adam Page is now number 3, and out of 24, Pac is number 5. So good on Page. So he's, he's realistically, with Cody out of the picture, Adam Page is next in line for a title shot at Chris Jericho. Nice. If Chris Jericho accepts. I would imagine no, so we would go right down to the list to Jon Moxley. If that was the case. Pac is now 3-1-1, while Adam Page is 3-2. If I have this written down correctly, in singles matches. So I think good on Pac, good on Adam Page. What was your meatball rating for this matchup, Mikey?
I gave this one a 4.5. I really liked it.
Ooh, big boy throwing at the big boy stars. What are you, Maeve Delts over here?
Maeve Delts, baby.
Mikey, when you eventually become a commentator, can you have your professional wrestling name be Maeve Delts?
Maeve Delts. I'll be that. I'll only work my shoulders from now on.
Please do. I gave this a 3.75. I didn't exactly crack the 4. You're right. It's hard because you're right in saying that every single this was like the perfect wrestling match in the sense that it had like everything you wanted in it. But for some reason, I still gave it a 3.75. And I think that might be due to the fact that like this rivalry has been going on for 11 months.
Yeah.
Like if this feud was shortened, tightened a little bit, and of course, we had to work around Dragon Gate. We had to work around the AEW Championship. We had to work around some things. But if we could just shorten this feud a little bit, I think I would have felt like this was a bigger win. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense. But, still a good match overall. Let's keep moving down. We got next up Joey Janela versus Shawn Spears, with Shawn Spears picking up the victory. Very interesting matchup, very innovative matchup, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I thought this was a good match. I liked this match. I thought it was solid. Like I said, baseline was 3. Nothing ever became below a 3. I thought this was a solid match. I like some people don't like Shawn Spears in AEW, and I think maybe it's maybe because he's a heel, maybe because whatever. I like Shawn Spears in this matchup. That use of the tag rope for the hair tie was awesome. Very interesting.
Janela lost a pretty good chunk of hair.
That is a sizable chunk. Plus, the whole pile driver with Tully Blanchard being involved. I thought that was a great spot. Overall, I thought it was a good match. Mikey, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it was a good solid match. I hope this rivalry continues because I actually really like it. And I think Tully getting involved makes that more real. Mm-hmm. because I would like to see Joey Janela in like a real rivalry and I want to see him, honestly, come out on top.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Joey Janela doesn't have a lot of victories in this promotion, in this AEW, but yet he's constantly perceived as like, oh yeah, he's an incredible threat, it feels, right? Like
he's so over. He's so over.
He's so over. And he just goes out there and just showcases his amazing talents and feats. Of course, looking at the rankings, Shawn Spears, with this victory, Mikey, shoots up the rankings.
Really?
He's at 6 overall out of 24.
Crazy.
While Joey Janela is 24 out of 24.
Yikes.
No, yeah, Joey Janela is bottom of my ranking list. Some people have him slotted differently. There's, shouts out to Craig from Pro Wrestling Musings. There's some people that have him slotted differently based on stuff. But Joey Janela, I mean, he's lost a lot of matches. He hasn't won a lot of matches. I think the only singles match he has a win in is Brandon Cutler, which, it's Brandon Cutler, so it's not like that was a huge win for him. If he could have beaten anyone, it was Shawn Spears. But I do want to give props to AEW's booking, Mikey. As I was watching this match, I was thinking about this rivalry in context of, through the lens of Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega. Like, this is like, what was it? Episode 2 of AEW was Shawn Spears versus Jon Moxley. Joey Janela faced Jon Moxley in the first ever unsanctioned match at Fyter Fest. Kenny Omega faced Joey Janela in an unsanctioned match on AEW Dark, later on AEW TV. And then, Shawn Spears and Joey Janela start feuding as well. So it seems like a Shawn Spears Kenny Omega match is in order. We're just going to wait for that day to happen, I guess. But yeah, I thought it was a good match. Mikey, what's your meatball rating?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 3. Thought it was good, solid wrestling. There was some twists here and there. And as much as I hate to see Janela take another loss, I think it was a good way to end the match with Tully getting involved.
Yeah, I gave it a 3 as well. Same thing. It hit Tully being involved sort of saves face a little bit for Joey Janela. It's weird. Like I said, if you're looking at through the records, Joey Janela is not a threat at all. He loses all these matches. But at the same time, I feel like he always looks good coming out of these matches. Like, even in loss, he still looks good. He's still over. I feel like he gets over and over more. Like, he's like, losses are better for him somehow in AEW.
Because you just want to see him win. Like, you just want to see him get the nice big win, Not just like against Brandon Cutler.
I don't know when that win's going to happen or where it's going to happen, but it's hopefully going to happen eventually.
Yeah.
And moving on, Mikey, I want to touch on this. It was around this moment in the show. It was either before or after. I don't quite remember. I didn't have it written down. But we got a backstage promo with Kip Sabian. And also where he's joined also by Penelope Ford, where he talks about how he's officially sort of aligning himself with the Hybrid 2, TH2, and of course, officially Penelope Ford on TV. In what was called... What do I have? It was written down. I have the Superbad Squad.
Interesting.
Yes, I don't know if you remember much about that promo because it was just like, oh, cool, like a promo. But
the only thing I remembered is Tennille Dashwood cheating on Joey Janela.
You mean Penelope Ford?
That's what I meant. Why did I say Tennille? What the fuck? Where did that come from?
I don't know. That came from a recess of your mind somewhere.
Where did that name come from?
But yeah, so apparently we have the Superbad Squad forming, TH2, Kip Sabian, and Penelope Ford, all based around the fact that, why be bad when you could be super bad, and people that feel underappreciated in AEW. That's sort of the basis of the Superbad Squad. So, Mikey, I was thinking, and I'll bring in sort of a callback here. I was thinking, of course, you look at the Inner Circle, you look at Elite, right? Mm-hmm. There are your main eventers. There's your tag team guys. There, your Elite doesn't have a woman, but I guess you could sort of say Brandi Rhodes was kind of affiliated with him at one point. Not really anymore. Well, just remember the Brandi Rhodes awesome Kong spot. We'll talk about that later after this.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So we get some women competitors in there as well. Superbad Squad has Kip Sabian, TH2, and Penelope Ford. Do you think there will be a new person to join the Superbad Squad and to be one of those like main eventers? Because I don't think Kip Sabian's going to be like the main eventer of Superbad Squad, right?
No, honestly, you know who would fit really well in the Superbad Squad?
Who is that?
Sammy Guevara.
Yeah. I mean, but the problem with that is I think he's too associated with Kip Sabian.
I mean, yeah.
That too.
No, you're right. It's just like, I don't know. Who else would be a good addition to that squad that's like a main eventer? Maybe.
This is going to be me throwing my hat in the ring. We're talking about Adam Page versus Pac. Who comes in to interfere? None other than the Superbad Squad, and Pac becomes the new leader of said squad.
You think so? I
don't know, man.
I feel like Pac's kind of a lone wolf kind of guy.
Yeah, but he's a guy with a chip on his shoulder, just like the rest of the Superbad Squad. He's a guy that sort of feels underappreciated in AEW, right?
Yeah.
So, to me, logically, it makes sense. I think it's a weird pairing. However, with Jack Evans, there's a little bit of that Dragon Gate connection. And Helico is great. Penelope Ford, Kip Sabian. I think it's sort of great. Of anyone, it's never going to be Moxley. I don't see him a part of anything.
No.
In terms of like factions. Do we see ourselves saying Sean Spears a part of it? Probably
Maybe.
not. Maybe MJF.
No.
That doesn't feel right. He's not a Superbad Squad guy.
No.
Plus, if we just want to shorten it, we can call it the SS and then just piss off. Just make it really not great historically.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah, just get a bunch of branded stuff, call it the SS, and we just sell it online. I mean, Darby Allin, I can list off a list of names for you, Mikey. Darby
I was
Allin.
thinking Darby Allin, but he's so over as a face right now that I think that wouldn't be good.
Yeah, Jimmy Havoc.
We don't know what's going on with Jimmy Havoc.
Yeah, Joey Janela would be very awkward. QT Marshall, no. Dustin, no.
But now Excalibur is 1-0 in AEW.
Excalibur? When did Excalibur win a match?
He beat Jimmy Havoc.
What? Hold on. What are you talking about?
Ryan, it's a joke, Ryan.
I don't remember these jokes. I don't get the reference.
You not heard about this?
Mm-mm.
That the bunch of cast from AEW went out drinking the night, like a few nights before Full Gear, and Jimmy Havoc got super drunk and tried to beat up Excalibur, and Excalibur had to choke him out.
I didn't hear about this
and that happened, and that all happened in front of Tony Khan.
That's awesome.
That's why I said I don't know what's going on with Jimmy Havoc after that, but
that's fine. Jimmy Havoc hasn't been any sort of anything in this promotion, honestly.
And now everyone's posting a picture just like Excalibur 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy Havoc hasn't been he's been like a non-star in this promotion. If he was gone tomorrow, I'd be like, sure, okay.
But that happened in real life. That wasn't even kayfabe. He just did that.
That's awesome. Good job, Excalibur. Good on you. Yeah. I mean, so it's talking about the Superbad Squad, Mikey. My pick is Pac. Throw Pac into that squad. Make it pretty cool. Give him a big main eventer status. Make it a real threat. Formation of a new team with Pac a part of it. I like it. I do agree that Pac has a lone wolf vibe, but I think you have to attribute that more to Jon Moxley than Pac, it feels.
Mm-hmm.
and say chip on your shoulder more to Pac. Let's deliberate by that extent, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But going back all the way back to the buy-in after that B Priestley Britt Baker match, Awesome Kong and what's her name, Brandi Rhodes came out, attacked B Priestley, and then took out a knife and cut out a part of her hair. Mikey, what do you think about that?
That was interesting. When they took out the knife, I was a little terrified. I was like, are we about to see somebody get fucking stabbed? But then they cut off a piece of her hair, and I was like, oh, I get it. It's like a trophy kind of thing, but that's weird.
It's the whole gimmick of those two are very weird to me. At the same time, I'm just like intrigued to see where it goes. I don't think it's good. I'm just very intrigued to see where it goes.
Yeah, me too.
But that just makes me want to have like Jazz come back and be a part of this, so that like we'll have a Jazz Awesome Kong match where she can't cut off her hair because Jazz is bald. That's what I want. But also
the fucking counterplay.
Yeah, but also talking about squads, I believe that music that Brandi Rhodes came out to it, I believe they said She Squad or something like that. Which maybe we get a women's faction here.
I don't know about the name there, but
yeah, no, it's sort of fine. It's just sort of like, yeah, okay.
It's kind of almost like they went with the first thing that came off the top of their head.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't feel it. Can I be honest about the women's division AEW?
What?
So allegedly Kenny Omega runs the women's division. It really just feels like he's running the Joshi stuff, and then he just lets all the other American wrestler women just be like, okay, here you go.
All right, yeah, whatever. You do whatever, I guess.
Yeah, it's just sort of like I'm not hyperbolizing. I'm just sort of like, I don't know. It just feels like the American women's wrestlers are on the back burner. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Allie, Leva Bates. I mean, Nyla Rose is doing some stuff, but that's gone. She's not in the title picture anytime soon. The next challenger is probably Hikaru Shida. It just, I'm not upset about it. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not wholly at all upset about it. I very much want Hikaru Shida to challenge for that title and win it. But, like a lot of the American wrestlers, Sadie Gibbs, Allie, Leva Bates, I'm watching AEW Dark, and I'm just like, these girls need to work on their chops. I'm just not, they're editing AEW Dark around Sadie Gibbs's mistakes.
Yeah.
It's very noticeable.
Yeah, it's rough.
So it's just, I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but I don't think the American wrestlers are ready. And I think maybe AEW realizes that. I don't know. I'm very intrigued about all the women's division stuff because it feels like it needs some polishing. I don't know what's happening there, but let's keep moving on and talk about a different division, and that is the tag team division, where the AEW tag team champions SCU, Frankie Kazarian and Scorpio Sky, won that triple threat matchup, not sponsored by Taco Bell, by defeating Lucha Bros and, of course, pinning Private Party. Mikey, thoughts on this three-way matchup?
It was really good. This match was awesome. I had a really fun time watching this. It was a lot of things happening. I think everyone came out looking great. And yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I really like this matchup. I thought it was really solid, really good. A lot of goods throwing around here, but it's really just a mix of good to great in this promotion. Not this promotion, but in this pay-per-view, which is, I think, the name of a solid pay-per-view. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I thought it was a good three-way match. Again, I think like it was one of those matches, sort of like Young Bucks, Proud and Powerful, that like on paper I thought it would be a little bit better, but it wasn't as, maybe I just had too high of a standard, I guess. It didn't. I thought it was going to blow me away, but then I also looked back to the Fight for the Fallen SC versus Lucha Bros match, where that match didn't really blow me away at all. Mm-hmm. Like that match was like fine. And maybe that's what part of it is. But, I thought it was a solid throwing Private Party into that mix. I thought they did well. I think the story makes sense. And plus, at the end of the match, we got the return of CD, the return of the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That spot was definitely interesting.
I was legit like totally forgot about Christopher Daniels. I was like, who the hell is this guy? And he took it off. I was like, oh damn.
For a second. For a split second. My brain was like, it's not CM Punk, right?
Oh my god, Mike! You really were like, see, you're a CM Punk out holder guy.
No. I don't think it's gonna. Here's my stance on this. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but if it does, I'm not against it.
I guess that's fair. I think maybe I'm in the same boat as you. I don't think it's ever going to happen in a million years, but if it happened, I'd be like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He'll come in, have some good matches.
I'm not gonna be like, no, we don't want him anymore. It's like, all right, I'll take him back.
Yeah, he'll be like a Chris Jericho, where he'll like show up, knock us a few skulls, give us. The problem is like the character of CM Punk is too probably close to maybe like a Jon Moxley-esque Stone Cold type. It's like, I don't know this guy doesn't really fit in this promotion almost.
Yeah.
Ranking wise, SCU of course are the champs, so they're number 1. Lucha Bros dropped down to number 5, while Private Party dropped to number 8. Mikey, what was your meatball rating of this match?
I gave this match a 4 meatball rating.
4. The spice levels are 4 out of 5. I gave this a 3.25. I was less on this match than you were. Again, though, like I'm saying, like all of these matches are like good. Mm-hmm. Like all of these matches, like very much solid to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I like it. I like the stuff that I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep chugging along. Next up, of course, we had the women's AEW Women's Championship match with Riho defending her title against Emi Sakura, her teacher, Emi Sakura. And of course, Riho successfully defended said title. Mikey, thoughts?
This match was good. Wasn't great, but I did like it a lot. Emi getting emotional in the beginning made me almost cry.
Aww.
If you've checked our Twitter lately, you can see my feelings on that.
Oh, Mikey.
It was like she's just so proud of them.
Yeah, that really is a story. Is that she's just so proud of where, both the two of them are, but even more proud of a teacher being proud of a student, being like, man, she is next level now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh my god, she's so proud of how far they both come. It's so cute.
Let's talk about. So there was, I guess, the more controversial piece about this match, Mikey, was the creation of it. A lot of people, including me, probably, sort of are down on this match before it started. Mainly because of, I guess you could say, the lack of build that this match had, or the level of Emi Sakura. What were your thoughts on that part? What were your thoughts about this? What were your thoughts about going into this match? How did you feel about the match, the story that they were saying? How did you feel about it all?
I thought it was good. I liked it. I liked the student versus teacher aspect of it. I liked the Riho beating her teacher and that whole thing. I thought that was very good.
Mm-hmm. So you thought the build up to this match was good?
The build to this match was minimal. I like the story they were trying to do, but they could have executed it better if they built it longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all you could have done to fix that part would have been instead of announcing the match before their tag match on AEW Dynamite, just have Emi Sakura pin Riho.
And then announce it.
And okay, cool, perfect. There we go. Money in the Bank, right there. Riho, of course, as champion number 1 in the rankings. Emi Sakura dropping down to, where is her name? To 13 out of 19 women.
Okay.
Yeah, Emi Sakura is not that high to begin with, so her getting this opportunity was weird. But I did think that match was good. I think the match, I'll be honest, Bryce Remsburg sort of slightly ruined this match for me. I still think the match was good. There was obvious, and the audience obviously also picked it up on it. Bryce Remsburg made a mistake in the count, where it felt like he counted 1 and then stopped and then 2 more, and then everyone in the audience was like, "That's a 3 count. You just did a 3 count." So that was weird, and it was like, and the problem with it is that he did that as the closing stretch of the match started. So it was like, I was getting distracted by what the hell was that, Bryce? And then the match ended. And I was like, okay, cool. It was a great closing finish, but it was just the start of it. It was like winning a NASCAR race at number 1 in number 1. But the start of the race was just bad.
Yeah.
The final lap, your car breaks down. Gotcha. And just well, you still did it. It's just, still good, but, it's just sort of besides this blemish, in my opinion.
Listen, man, I don't want to talk about cars breaking down right now.
Ooh, Mikey, you got some first-hand experience today, didn't you?
Yeah. That was rough.
So, Mikey, I gave this a 3 out of 5 meatballs in the spice levels. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I gave it the same.
It was good. It was, again, another solid match.
Mm-hmm.
Another solid match.
I'm gonna give Bryce Remsburg 5 stars for the beginning, for when Emmy pointed the mic at him, and he was funny.
Bryce Remsburg is the funniest referee. I want to see more of him and Orange Cassidy.
Did you see what he did when Emmy was like, "Look, the mic," and he did that giggle, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious to me.
Mm-hmm. He's the best. He's just, his comedic timing's great. It's just
when he put the sunglasses back on Orange Cassidy, that was the kicker.
Yeah, or his reactions to moves. I think he's a great referee. It's just also, it's this is the second botch he's done in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What was the first? The first was was the finish to Pac versus Trent Beretta.
Nope, not a botch. Not a botch.
Yeah, I forgot.
Not a botch. I refuse to believe it's a botch. Listen, Pac stopped the pin, so Bryce stopped counting. Pac got up, stopped the pin, so he could put Trent in the brutalizer. He wanted to make him sleep. He didn't want to pin him. He wanted to make it hurt more. That's Pac.
Moving on to the next matchup, it was Chris Jericho successfully defending his AEW World Heavyweight Championship versus Cody, where MJF threw in the towel, forfeiting Cody, which also means that because Cody has forfeited, he will never challenge for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship again because of that loss. Mikey, thoughts?
2 things. First off, I think the throwing in the towel ending was very good.
Agreed.
And I think they should have held off MJF's heel turn. Which brings me to my second thing. Fuck you, MJF.
It sounds like the heel turn worked, Mikey.
Oh, listen, it worked. I think it would have benefited from letting it sit a little longer, because I was really a fan of it. I was really into the ending of MJF just throwing in the towel and just that being it.
Mm-hmm.
And him just being I'm sorry, Cody. I couldn't you're my best friend. I couldn't see you. It's damn, okay. For me, that gave MJF more depth for a second. While he was faking it, I guess, I was damn, okay, he's got some depth to him. And then he kicked Cody in the nuts, and I was oh, never mind.
I slightly agree with you. I think if anything, that heel turn should have been on Dynamite.
I agree.
Have
Definitely should
MJF
have waited maybe a week or two.
have MJF
Let
and
it
Cody
sit.
come out, do a promo spot. Cody talks about, I am management. I gave this announcement. I gave this stipulation to the match. Although I wasn't pinned, although I didn't give up, MJF on my behalf did forfeit the match, and I do have to honor that. I don't necessarily. Maybe I talked to MJF. We don't necessarily agree with it, but I thought I should have kept going.
But he had my best intentions at heart. Like stuff, shit like that.
Yeah, shit like that.
He's my
Baby
friend.
face it up.
Yeah, he's
Um,
my friend, and I trust him.
and then MJF fucking kicking the balls.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think that, and then MJF cuts a scathing promo on him.
Oh, definitely, dude. But can we just talk about how that one fan threw a beer at him, and it was just like the perfect timing, and it made MJF look so much more badass coming out of that ring, just covered in beer or water or whatever it was.
There's discussion on whether or not that was a plant of a fan. I don't care. That's
Either way,
that's,
it was very good.
that is promo package material for the next decade.
Yeah,
that is what you need.
Just after he got hit with it, him just like looking into the crowd and then looking back at the camera and that having that like big stupid grin on his face. Oh, it was so good. It was so good.
He knew it was money. He was like, that's money
exactly.
right there.
He got hit with it and he was like, oh, this is fantastic.
I'm calling to you, the fans of whoever the next city is. I don't know off the top of my head right now. To when MJF does come out, throw garbage at him. Just throw garbage at him. Who cares?
All of a sudden, everyone at ringside is just ejected.
I don't care. Do it.
There's no one at ringside anymore because the entire ringside audience got rejected.
You can't eject all of the fans.
It's like one of those Facebook events where it's like everybody throw garbage at MJF. They can't eject all of us.
Yeah, it's this Area 51 logic. You can't eject everybody. So just everybody. Look at fucking the Hulk Hogan heel turn.
They can't kick us all out.
Yeah, it's like any moment. It's like throwing cash in the ring at luchador events.
Or
having
ECW
that ring,
throwing chairs in the ring.
Yeah, having that fan involvement will make it special. Have MJF, the human garbage of a person, live in his own filth.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And that's money right there. Do it, fans of whatever city you are. I'm calling on you all to do such a thing. But let's talk about the match itself, Mikey. We talked a lot about MJF. Let's talk about the match itself. I thought that dive to the outside by Cody, where he planted hard.
God, I stood up and walked away from the TV for a second.
That was rough. That was rough.
I thought he was done. I thought he broke his fucking neck. Like I thought that was it. I thought Cody died. Like,
oh my God. That tope suicida to the outside, cracking open his eyebrow.
I saw one comment on Reddit that was just like, "Well, that match was fast after Cody did that."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Cody Rhodes.
I don't know, man. I don't know how he kept going after that. That looked rough.
Not only that, he also suffered slightly of a rib injury as well. Just like as JR played up on commentary. Yeah, it was brutal. That was a brutal spot. It was definitely the theme of Full Gear seemed to be pressure. People, what will you do when you're under pressure? Will you crumble or will you become a diamond? And I think if MJF wasn't there, Brandi's off doing her own thing. Dustin has a broken hand, but so apparently he can't be at ringside. If MJF wasn't there, I think Cody would have turned himself into a diamond and became the AEW World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah. It definitely looked like he was not giving that match up.
Mm-hmm. Pharaoh would have been a better second than MJF, honestly.
No. Do not bring Pharaoh near all those fireworks. Not again.
Well, bring him out after the fireworks, Mikey.
That dog was scared, man.
Bring it out so Chris Jericho comes out first, then Cody comes out, and when all the fireworks are done, have Pharaoh walk out.
You have him just have Pharaoh. Can Pharaoh get his own entrance music?
That's what I'm talking about. Have Pharaoh get his own entrance music. Have him be the fourth judge.
I think Pharaoh would be a little biased.
Also, I love how they flew out Kejimoto, the Great Muta, just to sit in a chair.
Yep.
I love it.
They flew him out to give him front row seats.
Yeah, for one match. What was your meatball rating on this matchup, Mikey?
This matchup, I gave a 4.5. I thought it was really good.
And if Pharaoh was there, if Pharaoh was involved?
If Pharaoh was involved and he wasn't scared.
And if that whole thing took place in the Tokyo Dome?
6.5, baby.
Davey melts. Mavey delts. I gave this match a 3.75. Like I said, very, very, very good. I didn't break the great threshold on this match. Maybe I was being rough on AEW, thinking back, because there were a lot of good things. This is the first.
I feel like this match could have been way better, but I feel like a lot of it was them taking it slow after Cody almost broke his neck.
I thought that was good. I just think it had a slow start, then that happened. And
because it looked like as soon as the match was about to pick up and like start getting like those fast paced like spots and stuff, that's when Cody hurt himself, and they had to continue taking it slow. So the whole match just kind of felt like it never actually clicked, I guess.
Well, knowing Cody, that was on purpose.
Yeah.
The blood was on purpose. It's Cody Rhodes. When he has a big moment match, someone's gonna bleed.
Cody's just like, well, I don't know how to bust myself open without... He's like, how do I bust myself open without a bad blade job? Let's see.
The hard way it is.
All right, dive into the steel. Here we go.
Well, as we all know, the Rhodes are born with weak eyebrows. So I think that was on purpose. But it was a slow start. That happened, and because you had to play that up, it was just dragged out a little bit more. It felt like it to me. It should have been like if I was structuring the match, a guy that's never wrestled in his life before, I think it should have been a high octane start. Big ass start. This was like almost not really a blood feud, but like it definitely had like they wanted to fight, right? So based on like some of the backstage brawling, that happened, others, I feel like, have them fight, then Tope suicida to the outside, Cody busts himself open, the match slows down, right? Now it's like, oh crap. Chris Jericho takes advantage, really melts in this enjoyment of hurting Cody even more.
Yeah.
And then just, slowly build into that white towel. But yeah, that's what I would have done. Because then you start out high and then get slow and go from there. But also, even then, this match, I don't think broke 30 minutes. It was 29 minutes. So, it wasn't it was, I guess, still a little bit of a marathon. What do I know? I'm not a wrestler. But, I think it could have been better. Okay, moving into what is the unsanctioned main event. It was Jon Moxley defeating Kenny Omega in the unsanctioned lights out match. Very controversial of a match. Reminds me almost about the Joker controversy about whether or not we should approve of the matches like this. But it is a death match, so death matches have its own place in wrestling, in art, I guess. Mikey, thoughts on this match? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you with Renee Young, or are you with I don't know, Abdullah the Butcher?
Jonathan Moxley, you owe your wife an apology. That poor woman was going through so much.
Oh my God, she had a hatred spewing out on Twitter.
I don't think it was a hatred. I think it was just, I'm worried for my husband, and holy shit, what is he doing?
Well, I think there was a line of hate.
It's like, you're not young anymore.
Well, in a way he is. If he took his wife's name, he would be. I can hear you rolling your eyes.
Fuck off.
So it sounded like. So what are your thoughts on the match itself? Did you like that?
This match was insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times I had to like turn away or like I cringed really hard. One point I literally stood up and just walked across the room and I was like, I cannot believe that just happened.
Mm-hmm.
In front of my fucking eyeballs.
Yeah.
This match was nutso butso.
It was a lot of nutso butso. There were moments near the ending of the match. I was just like, it was like watching. I don't want to say like watching a horror movie, but it was definitely
it's like you're driving along the highway and you see a big car accident and you can't look away.
Exactly, same exact idea. It's just like the things that they were doing, the glass, the barbed wire.
Oh my god, Moxley! Can we just talk about how badass Moxley crawling through the glass to get to the ropes was?
That was the moment for me. That was like, oh my god,
that was fucking hardcore.
That was that story of like, the whole match had its own story, but that minimal story of, pop-up spine buster into, sit out pop-up spine buster into the glass, into the same glass that Moxley put Omega through on like episode 1 of AEW, or of Dynamite, I should say. Pop-up spine buster into the glass. Kenny Omega drags him through it on his back. Sharpshooter. Then to get out of the sharpshooter, Jon Moxley has to crawl through that same glass.
I feel so bad for the ref who had to keep counting on top of the broken glass.
Yeah, shouts out to Paul Turner who did his best.
Paul Turner who counted, who was just like, every time he had to get a count, he was like, "Well, here we go." One,
but even
Paul Turner
himself. Paul Turner himself was selling this match really great. I don't know if he ever got glass in it, but he sold that great. Or even the end of the match where he's just like, "Come on, guys, this is enough. Please." He's like begging them. So he's like, "Please, I don't want to do this anymore." We got to talk about that bed of barbed wire.
That was the spider web of barbed wire, they called it.
Mm-hmm.
That was this. Remember how I said I got up and had to walk across the room and be like, "What the hell?" That was that spot. That spot got me.
It was
when they pulled that. When the Bucks and Paige pulled that out, I was terrified.
Yeah. That was a terrifying spot for them. It's just, this whole match was just up and down, left to right, great. In my opinion.
Can we just talk about just how brutal, like just barbed wire in general, brutal. Kenny Omega sweeping Jon Moxley's back with barbed wire.
Oh my god.
With a barbed wire broom, that was awesome, but also horrifying.
I love
table full of mouse traps.
I love how like this build was just so much like they never actually used the barbed wire broom or bat until this match.
Yeah, that first when Kenny Omega got the broom and the first time he whacked Moxley with it, where he was about to like dive out of the ring. And
on the back of the head.
Dude, that was rough.
Yeah.
The way Mox was shaking afterwards and the blood was just like coming out of the back of his head, I was just like, "Oh my god."
Mm-hmm. It was something else, this match. It was something else. Now, obviously the controversy of this match is that a lot of people felt that it was too much. It was too violent. Mikey, where do you stand on do you think this match was too much violence, or was it, it was a death match? It's just like art is art, I guess.
So this is my thoughts on this match. The build was amazing because it was like Moxley went to Japan to live in Kenny's world, and Kenny was having unsanctioned matches against Janela to live in Moxley's world.
Mm-hmm.
So they can get a feel for each other. And then Kenny was like, "Oh, Moxley made sense that he was this brutal because he literally cut that promo on Tony Khan and he was like, fine, you want to do this to your boy? That's fine. I'll take it out on him then. This is your fault.
Yep.
And then Kenny was like, fine, you want to go to that dark place? We'll go to that dark place. And Kenny showed a side of himself. I don't even know what I'm saying because I'm saying this like been watching Kenny Omega for like my entire life. Fuck it. But I never thought of Kenny Omega as like, I always thought of Kenny Omega as greatest wrestler in the world, you know, like he's a wrestler. Never thought of him to be in matches like this. I never would have pictured him in an unsanctioned match with Jon Moxley.
In a death match, pretty much.
Yeah.
All we needed were actual glass tubes, and I think
CZW.
Shout out to Zan. Yeah, no, it was insane. It was insane.
Table of Mousetraps was still very good.
Looking at the ranking system, of course, the ranking system for System Check, this OCELOT ranking system, it does take into effect unsanctioned matches. The records don't reflect it, but my OCELOT rankings, I do reflect that sort of unsanctioned match because it's a big win to get a win over Kenny Omega, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So in that case, Jon Moxley, number 4 out of 24, right behind Adam Page, with Kenny Omega, number 9 out of 24. Kenny Omega behind the likes of Shawn Spears, MJF, and Sonny Kiss. Jeez. Who would have expected it?
That's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, Mikey, I gave this match a 4 meatballs. This is the only match that broke the 4 meatballs for me. What was this match for you?
This match was definitely a 4.5. It took it to the next 4.5 to 4.75 because this match just took it to the next level.
Yeah, it was definitely. I can see people saying it was too violent and stuff, but at the same time, I'm sort of sitting here being like, "Look, it's a death match, folks. You knew what you signed up for when you were going to watch this."
Yeah,
that
was like, this is what they were gonna kill each other. Like, we knew this was gonna happen. They want to murder each other.
And we saw the Fyter Fest match of Joey Janela. We knew barbed wire was probably gonna be in play.
Barbed wire, there was tax. Like, we knew all this stuff is possible. Like, we've seen the hardcore spots before.
And did they ramp that up? Certainly they were going to ramp that up. You should have expected that. It met my expectations in terms of violence, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, so that is Full Gear. We have effectively reviewed Full Gear. I think, like we said, top down, good show. Very much worth it. If you get the chance, I would definitely recommend watching it. And for whatever reason you haven't, just all around very good.
You ever think about how lucky we are that we get to see Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley together fighting in a ring together?
No, wild idea.
The fact, I was thinking about it the other day. It's just like, it's never gonna get old. Like, it's so surreal to me now as a wrestling, like, as like a like when I used to be such a WWE mark and that was it. It's so surreal to me that now I'm seeing the legend, the myth that was Kenny Omega on TV every week. Like, it's buck wild to me.
Yeah. The independent wrestler viewer that is Mikey Manfredi has definitely been birthed, and he is going through his own golden age.
Yes.
I am excited about what's in store. Of course, System do a little bit of a preview, I guess you could say, Mikey, of System Check as we know of it tonight at Monday before AEW. There are a couple things. I just want to get your quick thoughts on it, Mikey. We're going to have that 4th match, what they also are calling a rubber match. Don't know why they call it. Well, I guess it's a fit. Is it? No, it's not even rubber. It is the 4th match. Is it? Is this? Hold on. I don't even know anymore. Anyways, we're going to get Hangman Page versus Pac once again.
It's not a rubber match. It's a plastic match.
The plastic thing. Yes, it is the plastic match. This is the plastic match coming up. We also have, of course, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara challenging for the AEW Tag Team Championships. Apparently, I'm just seeing this now. We have Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful, taking on the Rock and Roll Express.
Interesting.
I'm just seeing this now. This is all coming from AEW Dub on Twitter. Yeah, so they're saying that match as well, along with those other three. Honestly, insane if true. I wouldn't be surprised.
Big if true.
Big if true. But Mikey, those are the three matches we know about in terms of AEW moving forward. Thoughts on that?
I'm excited to see where AEW goes on its first comeback show.
That's the return home.
The return home, yes. We had the go home, and now we have the return home.
If you can make some quick predicts, what would your predictions be?
In those three matches?
Yes.
Proud and Powerful win. SCU wins. And what was the other one?
Adam Page versus Pac.
I think that match gets interrupted.
By the Super Bad Squad.
I think it gets interrupted by either Inner Circle or MJF.
Interesting. I'm excited to see what happens. And we'll see what happens on AEW Dynamite on TNT. So stay tuned for that, folks. And thank you, everyone, for listening to this week's episode of System Check, where we reviewed Full Gear. I have to thank my co-host, Mikey Manfredi, for joining me on this episode. Mikey, where can people find you? Any shouts out, final words? Mikey, you have the floor.
Well, in 2020, joining System Check, we'll have Mikey's Indie 500, where I'll be watching 500 indie wrestling matches. And I need suggestions, so start sending those in to us on Twitter. You can tweet at us at HitTheBooksPod. Tweet at me directly at MikeyM133, or both. And use the hashtag HTB500.
Yes, definitely get those recommendations in. He's accepting, Mikey, if I'm not mistaken, you're accepting everything except for, obviously, AEW, WWE, as well as New Japan. Am I right with that?
Yes, everything else is free game.
Yeah, so get those match recommendations in. They could be any year, right? They could be any year, any time period.
Do not care.
Yes, but get those in to Mikey. And of course, if you want more, you can subscribe to this feed. If you liked what you heard today, you can subscribe. We'll be back next week with the proper, I guess you could say, System Check preview episode for AEW Dynamite when we return. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe to the podcast feed of your choice. You can subscribe on the podcast app for iTunes, for Apple, I guess you could say. And if you want more of Mikey and I, you can listen to the other show, Hit the Books, which is a realistic fantasy booking podcast where we write the storylines, the promos, the matches, the outcomes, all those things, and try to make it as realistic possible. With injuries and all these things that can affect us. So I would definitely recommend if you like sort of like the GM mode of WB games or universe mode. It's sort of like that, except we have full control, full reign, except I guess when the randomizer wants to destroy us. So you can listen to that show if you subscribe to this feed, and those will come out every Friday. If you like what you heard today, you can also rate on the podcast app. Give us 5 meatballs, which we would truly appreciate it. And you can follow us on Twitter at HitTheBooksPod. Again, I want to thank Mikey Manfredi so much for joining me. I have been your host, Ryan Neitzey. Until next time, folks, please stay elite.